I would like to call to order the meeting, the May meeting 2020 of the Urbana Human Relations Commission. Can we have a roll call, please?
Francis Rigberg,
Here.
Carol Bradford, Stacy Burnett, Lolita Dumas, Daniel Larson, Lisa Mosley,
Here.
Peter Resnick,
Here. We are one short of a quorum.
We do not have a quorum tonight, and that means that we cannot take any formal action, but we can we still hear public input, or is that all right?
Absolutely. I don't think there's anything
Okay.
requiring that we have a quorum for that.
We have our agenda, and which will follow, and the minutes will need to be approved at the following meeting, or the next time we have a quorum, as I understand it. The meeting for the minutes for March 11th, which was the last time we met. Now we have public participation. Would anybody like to give input to the commission? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, is there a yes?
Yeah. I don't see a way to raise my hand. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay.
I was on video for a moment. This is Danielle Chenoweth.
Yes. Hi, Danielle.
Okay.
We have you have 3 minutes for
Okay.
what you'd like us to hear. Please go ahead.
Is public input 3 minutes or 5 minutes?
I was informed today that it's 3 minutes.
Is that a change from protocol? I want to address 2 issues, so I think it's going to be difficult for me to do that in 3 minutes. My understanding is I had 5, so just trying to.
Okay.
Just for point of clarification, since the city has started using Zoom, it has been 3 minutes. I will note that the council has been pretty lax on their 3 minutes, so if people do happen to go over a minute or two, as long as they're staying on course, I don't anticipate the Human Relations Commission having any objection to that.
Fine with me.
Okay. Thank you. So my name is Danielle Chenoweth. I live at 412 West Illinois Street in Urbana. I'm a former city council member, and I'm the township supervisor. In January, I believe I presented to you on a housing discrimination report, and things have been a little crazy since then, but the situation still remains that there's egregious violations of the Human Rights Code. I will refer you to making it clear that it's unlawful to make, print, or publish, or cause to be made, printed, or publish any notice, statement, or advertisement with respect to a transaction or proposed transaction in real property or financing that attempts to indicate any preference or limitation. Landlords continue to post information that is discriminatory. We're in the season when people are looking for housing. There's certainly a lot of folks looking. I am a landlord myself, and I've gotten 21 inquiries on one property in a matter of half a week. I would ask the Human Relations Commission to move with all due speed to communicate to landlords during this sensitive time what the law is, and to proactively address the discrimination that happens in our community through testing and other proactive means. I also want to point out I serve on the Housing Authority Board, and we have people with vouchers who are circulating looking for housing. Currently, we have about 100 people who are circulating. That's actually higher than average, circulating looking for places, and they're facing discrimination in both cities. So I just want to say this is a real issue, and I'd like you to address it with all due speed. Secondly, I wanted to point you to the Public Eye. It's publiceye.ucimc.org. There has not been sufficient press about this, but there was an incident where there was a use of force by Urbana police against a citizen. That use of force included a number of things that are very concerning in terms of racial discrimination, and also at least extreme insensitivity and working with a female, if not discrimination. So I would encourage you to read the extended documentation at the Public Eye online about that incident. There's a couple of things in particular I think that are important. There's 2 videos that citizens did of the video. And in the second video, it's very clear that the police are interacting with that videographer in a different way, and it's because she has light skin. So the second thing to watch very closely is that when the woman, after she's been tackled to the ground and punched, she calls the police racist, and that is when, right after that, they knee her in the side, injuring her ribs. The treatment that she received at the hands of the police, I believe, is racially discriminatory, and I believe it's the business of the Human Relations Commission, not only the CPRB, to review and take a look at that discriminatory behavior. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Danielle. And that was well timed, so thank you.
I tried.
Yeah, you did great. And is there anyone else who wishes to address the commission? Okay, great.
It looks like Christopher just raised his hand.
Christopher, okay. Christopher, you have 3 minutes. Please go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Christopher Hansen. I live in Urbana. I've emailed the HRC once or twice. I've been deeply involved with the Urbana Civilian Police Review Board over the past year or so, and it's become exceedingly obvious to me and pretty much anyone else who has approached that board that the process does not work in any way for citizens who wish to have access to making complaints about their police department. And I've attempted to communicate a number of issues to that board over the past year by appearing at their meetings, writing them numerous emails, sending them evidence and documents. And I find the board to be entirely broken. So I'm coming to you, and I know you're not, completely tied to the CPRB, but it is something that the Human Relations Officer is tied very closely to. And I think the Human Relations Commission needs to look into this, because it is your job to make sure that citizens have equal and fair access to their government. And I don't know who else to go to. A lot of the failures are within city staff. They're not accepting police complaints. They're denying them, right at the door, quite literally. Vasilia Clark is doing a horrendous job. She's not accepting police complaints, and someone needs to do something about this. So I'm coming to you, and I'm asking you to look into this and give some comment on it and make suggestions to the Urbana City Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Christopher. Okay. There we go. All right. Moving on to our unfinished business. I simply wanted, this is in a follow-up.
I'm sorry, Chair. One more time, Sarah Nixon now has her hand raised for public input.
Okay, can't see it, so. Oh, there it is. I'm so sorry. I'm new to this. Sarah. Wait.
And I'm a resident of Urbana in Champaign County. I'm also new to this, so I'll keep it short. But I joined the chorus of voices asking that the Urbana Human Relations Commission look into the Alea Lewis case. It seems to me that we have a case of a very clear violation, an egregious violation of human rights on the basis not only of race, but sex as well. And I think that we need to understand that victims in crises and in situations such as Ms. Lewis finds herself in may not necessarily be in a position to file a complaint on their own behalf. And I would like to suggest that we or that you consider potentially expanding resources and supports available to people who have a legitimate complaint situation and who might need some extra support. So that's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Okay. There we go. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Thank you. Thank you all. And now we will move on to unfinished business, partly in response to Danielle's initial presentation to the commission, but also because we're forming our own agenda for the coming year. I'd like to talk just a little bit. We can't make any decisions, but I'd just like to put forward something in the area of publicity campaign in the areas of housing and unemployment, which are, from our previous discussion, are areas that we're very interested in, reaching out to both people who might find themselves violating the ordinance and people who might be victims of such actions. And I'd just like to present as an idea something that I did a few years back for the Rape Crisis Center when I was development chair. And the reason I showed this is because I think it might, this campaign that we did might adapt itself very well to our needs, and we might be able to do something fairly quickly. I'm going to share with you, this was a campaign that involved billboards and posters on and inside of buses. Okay, the billboards, I'm going to do this. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. This was a series of billboards that were in different cities like Urbana, Champaign, et cetera, that were in the purview of RACES, the Rape Crisis organization. And each one, it would say the name of the city and imagine name of that city without rape. And it gave all the information about how to contact us. And that was just a way of publicizing the organization. And we could do something like Imagine Urbana without discrimination, with different colors, just as an example of something we might do. And we got a good deal with both the people who made the billboards and the billboard company. So that was who made the signs and the billboard company in doing that. We then had a series. Hold on. Excuse me, I'm sorry, people. Here's a sign. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay. This is one of a series that asked similar questions on different subjects and gave the number for them to call. So this would be on the back of a bus, on the side of a bus, in a smaller version inside the bus, and it could also be used on UPTV. And it can say something like, are you a victim of housing discrimination? Are you a landlord who wants to know more about human rights law? Something like that. I mean, you could have a whole series of these, and they're the same color and design, so that it's clearly part of a campaign that has a sort of cumulative effect. So just wanted to throw that out as something that we could probably do fairly easily, fairly economically, and I just wanted people to know about it. If there was a consensus that we wanted to move forward with such a campaign, I'd be very happy to do that. But we don't have a quorum, so I'm just putting the ideas out there. Um, does anybody have a comment they would wish to make? Yes. Lisa.
Fran, just a couple of questions. Since you've done this billboard campaign before, roughly ballpark cost?
Oh, I honestly, it was so long ago. It was about 10 years ago, and I don't remember. But I can look that. I can get that
Do you
information.
remember how long they were up for?
Fairly long. Maybe a month.
Okay.
So yeah.
Was your idea to do several different discriminatory topics, like housing being one of them, as Danielle had asked us to look into, and
Yeah.
then maybe others? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a small thing in a way, but it's just a way of getting the discussion started in the public mind. So we can discuss this more at future
Sure.
meeting. Any other comments or thing? Okay, we have new business, our EEO workforce statistics. Vasilia. Vasilia?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
I don't know how much you guys can actually do with the request for approvals tonight because you don't have a quorum. So I think we have 6 companies. I think we should just basically hold them until our June meeting.
Okay, that's fine. Are there
Well-
any? Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, one comment on this, and Vasily and I talked a little, one-on-one before the meeting. Springfield Electric comes up every so often. They're a long-term contractor with the city, and they've had mediocre numbers at best over the years. We have in the past, for folks who are in this situation, sort of gotten them to come in to talk to us, help them if they needed it, to get some sort of affirmative action plan going, and so that we don't go through the process of having to ask them each and every time for good faith efforts. They can come up with a plan and just show us what they've been doing for the past year, what kinds of numbers they're getting. So I think we should think about for the next meeting sort of asking for that. I think Deuce Construction is the other one this month that is one of those repeat customers, although Deuce is one of those that uses union labor, and we've been talking for years about how to figure out how to address that. So I think that's a bigger thing to bite off. But I think for at least Springfield and maybe others as we come across them, it would be nice to just get some paperwork. And I think it's better for them and better for us. We can see what they're doing, and there's a written plan, and they can tell us what their progress is each time.
I think that's
Well, it makes sense to me, Peter. Are you kind of directing me to start getting some type of letter together that would go out to them?
Well, since we have no quorum, we can't tell what the entire commission would decide to do, but I would suggest that maybe you might start hearing a consensus develop that kind of thing would be useful. So if you got started ahead of the commission looking into that, it probably wouldn't hurt.
Absolutely. No problem.
Sounds great. Okay. Hopefully we'll have a quorum next time. And are there any announcements that anyone would like to make? Okay. I guess our meeting is adjourned.